Hey guys, it's Alex Serpentine back again with another video about the roles or soul types from the Michael teachings. These are basically fundamental types that we take on for our whole reincarnational cycle as we're going through the different lessons of the different soul ages on this planet. So they're the most primary personality type system to pay attention to because they stay the same for the whole cycle, while the other personality type systems would just talk about basically for what's happening for one life. This is for the whole cycle. So if you don't know what your role is, you can take the test that I have in the description of this video, which will tell you your primary, secondary, and tertiary roles. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the key characteristics of the scholar and its strengths and weaknesses, and I'm also going to compare it to other personality type systems like Myers Briggs, Enneagram, astrology, and aura colors. So let's get into it. So the overview for the scholar is that they're driven by a deep curiosity and desire to learn. They focus on understanding, analyzing, and acquiring knowledge. They enjoy observing, studying, and reflecting on life's complexities. The archetypal energy for the scholar is that they represent the archetype of the thinker, researcher, and observer. They embody qualities of intellectual curiosity, detachment, and neutrality. Seeks to comprehend the world through objective analysis and study. So the scholars, in terms of the population, the percentage of the population, they're about 14% globally. They're they're right in the middle in terms of ordinal and cardinal. So they're able to be focused on one-on-ones, or they can address groups sometimes. The population for scholars can vary in different societies or cultures, but it's going to be 14% overall. The primary motivations for the scholar is that they're driven by a desire to learn, understand, and gather information. They seek to observe and analyze without bias, and they're motivated by the pursuit of knowledge and truth. The key traits is that they're curious and analytical, always questioning and exploring. They're detached and objective, maintains neutrality in most situations. They're observant and reflective, enjoying deep contemplation and study, and they prefer intellectual engagement over emotional expression. If you guys haven't figured it out yet, I'm a scholar. Scholar with Sage Essence Twin and some artisan casting, artisan secondary, and a priest global job, but I'm primarily a scholar. It makes a lot of sense. The positive pull for scholars is knowledge, where they pursue and integrate information with a deep understanding and practical application. And their negative pull, it's called theory, where they're focused on abstract ideas and speculation without practical grounding or real world relevance. So they can really get real knowledge that they can provide, or if they're not really doing so well, they're just creating theories that are not really grounded. You know, their strengths are that they're highly analytical and detail oriented. They excel in research and data analysis. They're strong. They have strong ability to remain objective and unbiased. They have excellent memory and retention of information. They're capable of deep concentration and sustained focus. Their challenges is that they can be overly detached or emotionally distant. They tend to overanalyze, leading to indecision or inaction, and they may struggle with expressing feelings or connecting emotionally. Their growth focus is to develop emotional awareness, cultivating empathy and understanding of others' feelings. They need to learn how to take action, balancing analysis with decisive action when needed, and build interpersonal skills, improving communication and connection with others. For their spiritual path, they need to balance mind and heart, integrating intellectual understanding with emotional and spiritual awareness. They can practice mindfulness using meditation to quiet the mind and connect with inner stillness. They can explore mysticism, studying spiritual texts and practices to expand beyond their purely intellectual pursuits. They can engage in contemplative reflection, reflecting deeply on spiritual questions and life's mysteries. And they can connect with nature, finding spiritual inspiration in natural surroundings and their inherent wisdom. Scholars' interaction style is that they're observant and reflective, preferring listening and observing over speaking. They're detached, maintaining objectivity and emotional distance. Analytical, providing insights and thoughtful perspectives. Independent, valuing personal space and intellectual freedom. They're also a cautious communicator, taking time to think before responding. So when we're talking about their interaction with the other roles, there's some of the certain dynamics that happen. When they're with servers, they work well with servers if they're intelligent and educated. With artisans, the creativity of the artisan can enhance the scholar's objectivity. They're actually most compatible with warriors because warriors bring the practicality, which enhances scholars' knowledge. Knowledge plus practicality is a good dynamic. With other scholars, they do well because they have a shared love for learning and exploration. With sages, the scholar knowledge really complements sages' insight. Those work well together. With priests, they work well with priests if their priest is intellectual and shares scholar values. And with kings, they share serious outlook and interest in world events. I actually feel like of all the roles, probably the scholar is most likely to get along with all the other roles because of the neutral axis type. So and because of their neutrality, they're able to like really understand other roles really well. So the expression across soul ages, the expression of the scholar is going to be a little bit different in each soul age. Each soul age we have a different focus. So I'll just get into what it says here. For infant souls, which is a focus on survival, they observe to learn basic survival and environmental understanding. Baby soul, which is a focus on structure, gathers information to follow traditions and establish rules. Young soul is a focus on achievement, analyzing data for success and status, focusing on practical application. Mature soul, which is focused on relationships, seeks deeper understanding of human experience and relationships. And old soul, which is focused on context, pursues wisdom and spiritual knowledge with a broader perspective. So they're attracted to certain things in work and career. Here's some things that they're likely to do. They really like academia and research. They thrive in roles like professor, scientist, or researcher. They enjoy library or archival work, excelling in organizing, preserving, and studying information. They like data analysis. They're skilled in roles involving statistics, analytics, and data management. They like writing and editing, enjoying producing scholarly articles, books, or technical documentation. And they also like technology and development. They perform well in IT, engineering, or systems analysis. In family and community settings, they're usually the knowledge provider, sharing information and insights to educate and inform. They're the neutral mediator, offering objective perspectives in family or community disputes. They have a quiet presence, preferring observing and listening rather than actively engaging. They have supportive resource. They act as a go-to person for advice and factual knowledge, and they encourage learning, promoting intellectual growth and curiosity within the family. In leadership, they usually have a knowledge-based leadership approach, leads with data, facts, and informed decisions. They have an analytical approach, carefully considering all options before making decisions. They're objective and fair, striving to remain unbiased, providing balanced guidance. They have their mentorship style, preferring teaching and guiding others through knowledge sharing. And they're usually behind the scenes kinds of leaders, often leading quietly, influencing through expertise rather than authority. So, a historical example of the scholar is Albert Einstein, who was dedicated to understanding the laws of physics and developed groundbreaking theories. He's known for his deep curiosity and commitment to scientific inquiry, and he embraced a lifelong quest for knowledge and understanding of the universe. A fictional example is Hermione Granger from the Harry Potter series. She's highly intelligent and diligent, excels in her studies and research, values knowledge, and often uses her learning to solve problems. And she's passionate about learning, always seeking to expand her understanding. Some other scholars are Ben Affleck, Beethoven, Jeff Bridges, George W. Bush, Deepak Chopra, Daniel Craig, Anthony Hopkins, Thomas Jefferson, Jennifer Lawrence, Michelle Obama, Daniel Radcliffe, William Shakespeare, and Eckhart Tolle. So, if you get your Michael chart, or if you're studying Michael teachings in general, it's not that we just have our rule, like a one rule. We usually have some secondary characteristics of other rules. So that makes each of us really unique because we have a combination of a primary role, secondary role, tertiary role. So right here is a list of a combination between the primary role being scholar and a secondary role of being each of the other ones. So the scholar server adds nurturing qualities, uses knowledge to help and support others. Scholar artisan infuses creativity into learning, explores artistic and innovative ideas. The scholar warrior strengthens focus and determination, applies knowledge strategically. Scholar sage enhances communication skills, shares knowledge in engaging, dynamic ways. Scholar priest combines intellect with spiritual insight, guides others with wisdom and compassion. And the scholar king adds leadership qualities, uses knowledge to direct and organize effectively. So now we'll talk about some of the other systems that correlate. Sorry, my throat's really scratchy right now. I'll talk about the cognitive functions first from MBTI. Introverted thinking is a good match for scholars. Analyzing information deeply, seeking logical consistency and clarity. Introverted sensing also fits because it helps them value detailed and accurate knowledge in historical context. Basically gives them like a library of memories of things that they can tap into, which just gives them a wealth of knowledge to really be in touch with. They might also like extroverted thinking, which helps them organize and structure information for practical use. And sometimes they could use introverted intuition, which is one of the more rare, like the rarest cognitive function. But it helps them seek deeper understanding and insight into complex ideas. So typically they have a thinking function of some kind, but not always. Like in my case, I'm an INFP, but I have artisan and sage secondaries, and I'm in the mature soul age. So that really makes me, so I have introverted feeling first. So I'm a little bit different type of scholar than the typical thing. So here's a list of the likely MBTI types. Like I said, they have thinking functions usually. You can see that reflected here. INTP is the most stereotypically or archetypally aligned role for scholars. They're analytical, logical, and enjoy theoretical exploration. ISTJ might be a good fit too. Detail-oriented values accuracy and reliability. That's a combination of introverted sensing and extroverted thinking. INTJs might be a good fit. That's introverted intuition with extroverted thinking. Strategic, focused on deep understanding and future insights. And ISFJ might fit too, which has introverted sensing again, but this is with the feeling function, extroverted feeling. They're knowledgeable and then apply learned information to support others. So your MBTI type could actually manifest differently depending on what soul age you're in too. So you're, like I said, like MBTI types and Enneagram types can apply for one life as something that really fits, but in the course of your reincarnational cycle and the soul ages that you're in, these things could all change over time. So here are the likely Enneagram types for the scholar. Type 5, the investigator, is the most archetypally aligned type. They seek knowledge, valuing understanding and privacy. Type 6 also fits, the loyalist, analytical, values security, and relies on data and information. Type 9, the peacemaker, is observant, prefers to remain neutral and detached. And type 1, the reformer, is detail-oriented, seeks accuracy and improvement through knowledge. So, likely zodiac signs that really align with the scholar. Doesn't mean necessarily that you'll have these in your chart, because each life you'll have a different focus, so they might be different. But these are the ones that archetypally fit the most. Virgo really fits. Analytical, detail-oriented, values knowledge and precision. Aquarius is intellectual, curious, enjoys exploring new ideas and theories. Capricorn, which is one of the earth signs, is disciplined, methodical, and focused on practical application of knowledge. Scorpio is intense, investigative, and seeks deep understanding and insight. So if you want to find out your zodiac signs, I'd recommend using Vedic astrology, which is astronomically accurate to the constellations today. Western astrology used to be accurate when it was first created, but because of precession, it's gone out of alignment with the stars like it used to be. So it's no longer accurate. So I would really recommend using Vedic astrology to find out your rising sign, moon sign, and sun sign. So another system that's interesting to look at is the Aura Color system presented by Pam Osley. She has this book called Life Colors that goes into each of these aura colors. Archetypally, the tan aura is most likely to be aligned to the scholar. It's practical, detail-oriented, methodical in studying and organizing information. It's one of the mental aura types. Green is also another mental aura. Logical, analytical, focused on knowledge and understanding. And then indigo, which is a newer one, is intuitive, insightful, and seeks deeper understanding of complex concepts. So these are some of the ones that stereotypically fit with a scholar, but you could have a different mix based on your secondary roles and different things that are going on in your soul age and stuff. I actually have the auras violet and yellow, even though I'm a scholar, because I have some priest influence and the mature soul age and some artisan and sage secondaries. So that flavors me a little bit different. It makes me have violet and yellow. Violet is more wants to make big difference in the world and is driven to communicate ideas and really progress our people spiritually. And yellow is more of the creative type. So yeah, it can really vary, but these are the ones that align archetypally most. So here's some reflective questions that you can ask yourself to figure out if you're a scholar. If you say yes to all these, you might be a scholar or have really strong secondary or tertiary scholar influences in your charts or in your essence. Here are the questions. Do you feel a strong desire to learn, analyze, and understand complex subjects? Are you naturally observant and prefer to take a step back to gather information? Do you enjoy exploring new ideas and concepts through reading, research, or study? Are you often uncomfortable with emotional expression and connecting with others on a personal level? Do you find satisfaction in providing well-researched insights and advice to others? If you'd say yes to all these, you're probably a scholar. I would say yes to all these, so I know I'm a scholar for sure with this stuff. Um, so that also, like I said earlier, you can take my roles test that's in the description of this video to really figure out your role. So in summary, the core role for scholar is that they're focused on learning, analyzing, and understanding. Their strengths are that they're analytical, objective, and have deep curiosity and knowledge retention. Their challenges are that they can be emotionally detached, over analytical, and indecisive. For growth focus, they can develop emotional awareness, balance study with practical application. And for their spiritual path, they can integrate knowledge with heart wisdom and explore spiritual practices. So that's everything I wanted to say about the scholar. If you want to learn more, you can check out this book, Seven Personality Types by Elizabeth Puttick, that goes into the 7 roles presented in Michael Teachings more in depth. So you can learn about all kinds of things for each of the roles. So yeah, that's basically it. I have videos for each of the different roles, so you can go and check all that stuff out, and take my test to learn more about your primary, secondary, tertiary roles. And that's it. If you like this content, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.